the nature of aquarium is you come with your idea and you make your project, and people will give, you will find either collaborators if you want, or the stuff you need, either materials, tools, or data. And regarding that, there was once one scientist that wanted to make a genomic database of different craft beers. At that time, aquarium was close to a brasserie, and brasserie, and he started this very, like, sounds like a little bit of a crazy project, but he arrived to get funding with these platforms. I don't remember now. Oh gosh. But I collaborated with them, so I know a little bit about the project. The idea was to visualize 1,000 beers, and I think they arrived to make they wrote even a paper, a scientific paper, and they published it in a renowned public
scientific journal.
Scientific journal. And this was Gianpaolo Rando, and it was also Jonathan Sobel, Luke Henry, and I. And we, I helped them with the visualization at a very simple level because I'm not a computer scientist. And then I know that Jonathan Sobel was a bioinformatician, like, and they did pretty crazy stuff. So the idea was to make la carte de bière with a visualization, and depending on what kind of more known beer do you want. Let's say I hate Heineken, okay, but I like I don't know, Corona, whatever. Coronita, not Corona. So if there is a little brasserie which has close related DNA, let's say, from the ingredients, they were trying to find if there is a relation between your preferences and the genomic information. And it was a very successful project about it. Data sonification, it's living instruments. I also was part of it, but not in that much in this part. The data was yes, I was in this part. Because it's always data sonification. We use sensors, either cameras, either light sensors, pH meters, many stuff like microscopes. And this is translated into music through different softwares like Pure Data or Maximus P. And I really encourage you, if you want to try different stuff and be creative, or have an idea, just to pass by and try it out. Because like this, we started to do like silly instruments, and we are like 4 or 5 years playing everywhere. We played in London in the Café Otto, and in the closing ceremony of the Darmstadt Festival for Experimental Music with 600 people. We played twice in Les Bourgs, l'association Salopard, and also in Kunsthalle Berlin. If I don't remember, I was not in Zurich. Zurich, sorry. I was not there, but there was. And a couple of times in this LIFT conference in Geneva for innovative, crazy future stuff. So you start with a very small idea, and the people join because they are as much as crazy as you, and then something happens. Or there is a lot of people that do their own projects in the dark. Well, let's say not in the dark, but more like calmly. And there is this liberty to evolve as you wish. So
You convince me.
okay.
And do you know if there is sort of idea of bringing like this kind of procedures, sonification of the data, but to get like a new way of perceive, not to make like a something artistic, but to be used, as a real tool, like to something that can really. I mean, I'm not saying that art is not a real tool, but I'm saying that something that can be used to be. Yeah, sorry for that. I don't know. I mean, I feel like I'm getting into the math, but I mean, you already know that I love that.
No problem. Please continue. No problem.
What I want to say is like something that helped us to find patterns that can reveal another side of reality that then can be used in the mainstream science. So give like a one random note to one base, and basically you can listen the DNA, but there is no another layer of like new information, because basically you are just using like an arbitrary code to represent the same that you are actually seeing, right? And I was wondering if there is like there are more like complex code where you can create like not a note, but maybe one sound that is based in the chemical structure of the base, and this in fact has like a sort of delay, and in combination with other bases. I'm just thinking like to have like a more complex way to represent to match sounds with the data.
Yes.
I don't know, I'm just talking about.
I think you always have something that's going to be arbitrary in any case. Even, I don't know, if you take frequencies and you amplify, and so it's closer to the data, but it doesn't mean that you're going to be able to have an insight out of it. And vice versa. If you can choose something very arbitrary, but you can teach the people the matching you did, and then it can give you an insight, and it can give you maybe more information than the visual. I don't think the process in which you create the sound out of the data determines if it can be informative or not. It depends on how you explain it, I think, no?
Yes, I mean that's the answer, and I would say like said it otherwise. Hi Tatiana.
Hello.
How are you? I think that the critics, because I come from the technical background, I cannot forget that I studied engineering and I worked for 6 years in industry. So I know that side. And I know that when you make an algorithm, it's arbitrary. Absolutely. There is no neutral algorithm. You discriminate variables, you make hypotheses, and that's what we do when we make music. But when we make music, we do this. I know like there's people making noise that are super strict with, and they want to be super pure, and let's say that they are scientists of sound and noise, and that's it. And then there is people that just do whatever they want, and they do very complex algorithms to translate, because at the end mediums are there to translate information and to make meaning. But when in the case of living instruments, we are trying to speculate about the sound of organisms that don't have audible sound. So you have to do whatever. I mean, I met people making projects with the Neurosky and telling me I don't know what story about magical neuro waves, and it's like, come on, you blink and that's that's a signal. I mean, like you can wrap it in a very sophisticated stuff. What I guess what I want to say is like, so how I think a place like Aquarium, it's a place where everyone can be an artist and everyone can be a scientist, because a scientific method can be learned, and if you want to explore and be impure that's up to you. But it's the way of how do you document stuff and how you share your conclusions and have a crystal clear side, like now is science and now is my interpretation and now is art. So my flatmates are coming. I think maybe so there's people that are asking me the password, and I don't know how to make it because my phone is streaming through Facebook Live, and so maybe I'm gonna just shut down the Facebook for a little while and reconnect in 1 second.
Okay.
I don't know how to